Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for new ComHack episodes every week.
Hello there, I'm Joshua Weiss, and this is ComHack, and today I'm here with my cohort, Tim Jones, and we're going to be talking again on a communication hack. That's what we're all about, is teaching various hacks within the realm of communication that will help you in your day-to-day activities, your job, your relationships, your career paths. And today, we've been talking theories a little bit more lately, because theory is something that's it gives us a groundwork to say, okay, here's a theory and this has been proven, and now we can look at how we can apply the tenets of that theory to our life. And the theory that I thought we might cover today is called expectancy violation theory. Again, please don't fall asleep on me just saying that. It's really not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
And there really is some value in understanding the theory so that you can then apply some of the elements of the theory within your day-to-day activities. Why don't you do us a favor, Tim? Explain to the audience what exactly is expectancy violation theory.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite communication theories. When I first started studying communication theory, it's what really got me interested in the whole field, because it kind of clicked with me pretty quickly. And how I would explain it to people if I ever wanted to get them excited about communication theory is I'll stand a little further back from them like this, and I'll have the conversation. And I'll say, if we're having a conversation like this, you're no longer focusing on the conversation. You're focusing on the fact that I'm leaning a little further back than you would expect me to be. And so you're thinking about the relationship between us, like, do I have bad breath? Like, why is he leaning away from me? What's going on? But if I were to get even closer and started talking to you, again, you're focusing on the relationship, and you're like, you're too close. I'm not listening to you. So expectancy violation says, if you're in a conversation, you need to be where they expect you to be. So we judge this by social constructs and things like that, where if I'm sitting here, this is a normal distance for us to have a normal conversation. But if I wanted to get something from you, if I'm trying to persuade you to do something, and I know we're on good terms in our relationship, then I would want you to focus on the relationship, to be reminded that we're on good terms, therefore helping you come to the decision that I would want you to decide. So maybe I want to lean a little closer in to express warmth and friendship and focus on the relationship. On the flip side, if you're angry with me, I need to be exactly where you expect me to be, because any step away from that and you're thinking about, wait, you did something wrong, I'm done with this. I'm not listening to what you say. You may be so mad. So that's, in a nutshell, expectancy violations theory.
So basically, in our culture, in our social constructs, we live with certain expectations on what the social relationship is going to be. If you break that expectation, you have violated the expectation, and therefore caused me to focus on the violation more than on whatever else is being discussed in the conversation.
Yeah.
And so you see that, like you said, in regular day-to-day communication. Oftentimes, if you've got somebody who's somewhat socially awkward many times might mean that they violate expectations a bit too often. Like you've got that person that's just always in your personal space, and you're like, dude, I'm going to need you to step back just a little bit, right? Because I don't care what you're saying, you're just too close. Step away. Well, they've violated the expectation of normal protocol within our culture. In other cultures, it's completely different. There's in the Far East, it is totally normal for good friends, guy with guy, to go down the street holding hands. It's normal friendship. There's nothing wrong with it. In the United States, two people holding hands, if it's a guy and a guy, would likely think it's a homosexual relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's because the culture has kind of set up the construct of what is normative, and good, bad, or indifferent, the social construct basically brings what those expectations are.
Yeah, and there's actually one of my friends teaches at a school here that is actually it's a kindergarten for international students. Their parents are international students at a college, and then she teaches the kindergarten students, which are their parents. So she deals with a lot of different cultures in there, and she has to teach some of the kids, I understand, in France you greet each other with a kiss on the cheek. In an American classroom where, the rest of the majority of the kids are, you can't be doing that because that sends a wrong message. So she's teaching
Or
them.
can you?
Yeah, kindergartners. But she has to teach them the expectancies of the culture that she's in, and that goes the same with missionaries or foreign businessmen who have to do business overseas. They have to learn those expectancies.
So a hack in this regard, because I mean this is somewhat obvious. It's normal stuff. Yeah, don't get in people's personal space, and when you're talking normal distances, greetings but I guess the hack for something along these lines would be to kind of learn what the expectations are in the environment of the culture or the social construct where you're going, so that you don't violate those expectations, therefore giving yourself the best chance of success in your communication endeavor. Very similar to the theory we talked about last week with the uncertainty reduction. You're wanting to understand things so you can reduce uncertainty and understand your surroundings better. Similar with expectancy violation is that I don't want to violate the expectation that would be on me because I don't want people to think about the fact I'm talking from back here.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be where they would expect you to be, maybe even be a little close if you understand the relationship a bit more. You can even take it a step further, understanding the tool and understanding the expectations that you have on you. You can start to manipulate them to your advantage. An example that I think of right now is business presentations, like big corporations, they do a presentation for a new product. They were done very much the same way for a long time. Guy in a nice suit. There's maybe a slideshow presentation, something like that. They reveal the product. Oh, there's all this fanfare. And then Apple came along, and the guy walks up in sneakers, black pants, and a turtleneck, and starts using his own presentation software that his company creates, and this huge screen behind him, and starts talking about his product. He's violated this expectancy, but in a way that fit the culture in a new fashion and started to set a new expectation. So now the majority of tech companies will present in the way that Steve Jobs did with Apple back in the day.
Yeah, I think on a more personal level, you touched on it a little bit with the relationship stuff earlier. If I'm in a fight with my wife and I know that my wife thinks I'm angry about something, but I'm not really angry, or I want to break the expectation, to your point, if I come in and start having a conversation and I'm far off, I'm affirming the understanding or that expectation that there's a strife, I'm angry, and so we're not we're in a fight, it's heated or whatever. I can break that expectation, to your point, and if I come into the house, put my hand on the shoulder, or in closer in proximity, I'm breaking that, I'm violating that expectation, and therefore in a positive way helping to communicate that, listen, things are good. Regardless of what's being verbalized in the conversation at that point, I've violated the expectation in a positive way.
Yeah. And all that said, understand the expectations, violate them, don't violate them, understand that. That's your ComHack. Well, thank you guys for watching this week's episode of ComHack. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And if you have an idea for a future episode, drop it in the comments. And you can always follow me on Instagram at tljonesy_.
And you can follow me at Joshua D. Weiss. And we'll see you online at communicationhack.com. Till next time, have a great time communicating.
Have a great time communicating.